you a question.
They must have been
exactly like him.
Let me ask you a question, Steve. Now that you're 65 and you're swinging single, what's your age cutoff to go out with somebody?
You mean younger or older?
Both.
You know what? That is a great question. I would say that my preferred age, and again, I'm 65, my preferred age to date a wonderful young woman would probably be in her 40s. And yes, ladies, I'm aware that means I want to date a woman who's like 20 to 25 years younger than me. This is true, but I would say my preferred age would be a woman in her 40s. Yes.
So hold on. Let me just say, that's totally fair because the rule of thumb should be half plus 7.
I'm calling bullshit on that rule. Fuck that.
Yeah, Steve, how old are your kids?
They're in their 30s. My daughter is now again. That picture is like 10 years old, but my daughter is 32 and my son is 35. That picture was taken about 10-15 years ago. Yeah.
Steve, anybody making fun of you, tell them to go to hell. Okay? Tell them to go to hell. You do nothing wrong. Shout out to Uncle Steve.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Steve. Steve, I think Sammy wants to shoot her shot, bro.
What's your oldest, Steve?
Pardon?
Yo, I think the half.
What's the oldest you'll...
The oldest I'll go? Yeah, well, I'm 65, so I would say 60s.
Yeah, you said that already 3 times.
I did. I didn't know I said that.
The half plus 7 rule, that's like 39.
So, Steve, if you were to encounter a woman, okay, exactly, I would say a little bit older, 7 years your senior.
Did you say 7 years my senior, like in her early 70s?
Yeah, like what about like a nice like
I'm listening. Okay, if I encountered a woman in her early 70s.
What about like a nice Alana Stewart? Like, wouldn't you agree Alana Stewart looks very good for her age? I would say Alana Stewart looks better than some 16-year-olds, right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, would you be open to that?
Well, there's only so many Alana Stewarts, so absolutely yes.
I don't know, Steve. I mean, once you start getting to the 60s and 70s, the only way I would even entertain it, and I'm not even close to 60, is how much money does she have?
Well, JB, you're like 20 years younger than me, aren't you? But they're bro.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, you're in your 40s, yes, JB, or no?
Yes, and they'd have to have a lot of money for me to date him in this.
Yeah, and again, even though I said, and this is absolutely true, you know, me being in my 60s, what's my preferred woman in her 40s? If I met up with Jennifer Aniston, who's like in her late 50s, oh yeah.
Steve, just to be clear, the half plus 7, that would mean that 39 and a half is the earliest you can go. So the fact that you're choosing them in the 40s, I think you're being extremely responsible.
Thank you.
At least you're not doing a Bill Belichick.
Oh, and I know what's up with
or
that.
The Muslim thing.
Belichick is 72, 73, and his girl is 24, right?
Well,
3 times, right?
Well, hold on, Steve. The Prophet Muhammad was 53 when Aisha was 9. What do you think of that?
I think it's completely disgusting.
So, Steve, let me ask you a question. While that is there's no argument to say that's not disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about situations like Anna Nicole Smith and her ex-husband or her late husband?
I'm familiar with Anna Nicole Smith. Yep.
Well, how old was he and how old was she?
She was in her 90s and she was in her late 20s.
And she's dead.
Yeah, I would would have advised him on the half plus 20 or half plus 7 rule, and at 90 that would have put his minimum dating requirement should have been 52.
Well, at his age, I'm sure he had dementia, and he would have, traded in the plus sign for a multiplication sign, which is why they ended up in that situation. But, I'm glad that at least people are being consistent. I find it very disgusting that somebody in their 90s would be interested in somebody in their 20s.
But she did say she loved him.
There's a high probability that he didn't know his own name.
Can we get back? Hold on.
Gave me a shot, I would take it.
All right, yeah. Listen, yeah, I get it. You guys would fuck all the fat black women. But let me just ask this: can we just for a second get back to the Prophet Muhammad? The Prophet Muhammad was 53 when he had sex with a 9-year-old. I'm just wondering if there's anybody on the stage that thinks that's okay. Oh, they don't? Oh, amazing. Well, we got about 1 billion people on this planet that we need.
Who's we? Good luck.
I think it's the responsibility of all of us that have heard this to spread the word, because I'm telling you, I told everybody last night, I thought that was like a trope that was created to slam a religion. And when I heard it from the horse's mouth, the people that practice Islam, that this is 100% true. You just can't. Some things you just can't hear. This is not about a religion anymore. It is literally a death cult.
But it was different times. This was 2,000 years ago. People lived to be like 17 and then they died.
Who said that?
Wait, hold on.
That-
Michael just offered a justification for a 53-year-old man to fuck a 9-year-old girl. Way to go, Michael! You're a champion.
Yeah, to let the prophecy live on. Of course.
What is your religion, Michael?
Pedophilia is a religion.
Christian.
Well, because Christianity was there before Islam, right? Is this
it's
something that
Abrahamic
Christians
religion.
did Christians do that too? I'm trying to understand, like, how come that for their time, which is after Christianity, this was normal. I don't see anything normal about this kind of behavior. It just looks like a bunch of old men who were horny.
Hold on, Sarah, hold on. I gotta address something in the chat. Somebody named Goddess1 said Mary got fucked by a spirit. So is that not rape? Actually, you hold on. No, hold on. Yeah, only the dummy would think that made sense. Listen, the Bible says that she got pregnant. The Bible never says that the spirit had sex with her. This was what was called immaculate conception. So she got pregnant without sex. So for those of you that are trying to pervert the Bible, you're gonna have to try harder than that.
Is that the same, Goddess?
Let me just give it a little clarity. Michael, when he said the dummy agrees, he was talking about you. Get it?
Oh shit! I didn't catch that.
Is this the same Black Goddess?
So you dislike all the religions, or what's the plan?
I don't subscribe to any of them, but I can recognize that some are worse than others. I used to think that Scientology and some others were at the bottom of the barrel, BHI possibly being the worst. But once I heard the pedophilia simps that come from the Muslim faith, I would say that they are easily the worst.
So
it's easily the worst religion.
okay, that's fine. That's granted. That's your opinion. Perfectly okay. So I'm not religious either. Don't like religion. So I'm a little thrown why it has to be like, oh, one person is making a worse rhetoric for the fucking religion than another person. Is it a fucking competition? I don't think so. I said what I said. The spirit fucked her. We still don't know what fucked her, but a baby came and saved everybody with his blood. I have no idea, right? That's the fucking shit we're told. Then what? Like, what was the real point of you saying idiocracies and dummies and all that fucking extra shit?
because people that read the Bible and understand the Bible understand that the Bible's never claimed that the Spirit had sex with them.
So we're
If you're implying,
and I want to clarify,
it does imply that you.
Devil's advocate here, giving some possible reasons. I'm not a studier of the Quran, and I don't know, but I'm just giving a possible, idea that it wasn't.
No, hold on. I want to make sure nobody interrupts you. I want to make sure nobody interrupts you while you make your excuse for a 53-year-old man fucking a 9-year-old. Go ahead, make your.
Well, I mean, for the guy to live 53 years old, that's immaculate. And what time period was this? Back in AD, because most people died at
Actually, it was. Hold on. It was 1,400 years ago.
Okay, 1,400 years ago. A 53-year-old man without fucking ED drugs, could even get his dick hard.
Yeah, and what he chose to do with it was to put it inside of a 9-year-old. Why not an adult?
That's where it gets a little fucked up. That's where it gets a little fucked up, and I'm not
Just
not
a
justifying
little?
it. But you know what? I don't know. Like,
So you are.
I don't know way shit works in the desert either. You know how shit works out there. Michael, what's your
Do you think at any time that it's okay, like in the whole of human history?
I mean, as I'm sounding it out, I'm not really seeing
it was okay when the Europeans did it. They did it over and over and over, and they're just not getting caught for it. So it's been pretty much the fuck okay the whole entire time. I mean,
Actually, no. Hold on.
no. That's true. Those are both.
That sounded like a fucking goat.
They go to belittle
You are my kids.
You're going to belittle it. No, don't do
Y'all
that.
are my kids.
Is it bad?
Yeah, y'all my
So
kids.
here's the difference, right? Because these types of practices did happen all over the world. The difference is that in 2025, a group of Americans can come together and go, dude, that's some heinous shit, and call out anybody for doing it. The difference that we're talking about, though, is that in 2025, Muslims will come into this room and will defend it. They will say that it's okay.
Just like your white Europeans who fuck little boys in the butt. What is the difference?
You're not. You're missing.
Defenses are hilarious, Mo.
No, you're not. You're missing the point.
No, I think you're missing the point.
Well, if you interrupt me, you're gonna miss the fucking point. You're gonna miss the whole fucking point.
You sent the point to hell. It's gone already. But
It's okay, man.
And you got sent to the goop.
Jesus Christ. They do not send their best. Listen, here's the difference. Yes, throughout human history, bad shit has happened. But there's only one religion that 1,400 years later is saying that they think that pedophilia is okay. So if you want to go ahead and simp for that goddess, you go ahead.
Well, and it's really strange, Roger. Well, it's not strange. Hakima's going to get upset with me. These are the type of black women that, for some reason, the standard is so far on the floor that instead of looking at the moral repugnance behind the act, the comparison of acceptability is always, what do white people do? And this is where I stand 10 toes down, that there are certain black women in our populace that are just a danger to be around children.
And also, if I heard her correctly, she said she's not religious or doesn't believe in God. I don't remember which, but she said Roger's going to go to hell for what he's thinking.
Yeah, well, and not only is she not religious, but she's not very logical either.
Thou burnest for what thy thinketh.
Okay, Michael, I think if you need to go to the fucking audience. You and the gooeth. What the fuck is going on right now?
Well, Roger, I'll tell you, you made me a moderator, you gave me a green bean, and I invited a bunch of peeps in that follow me, so you never know who's going to show up.
No, see, Uncle Steve, these are not your people. I refuse to believe that these moral degenerates are your people. Okay? These are definitely not your people. They must have made burner accounts, tricked you into adding them, and just to infiltrate these rooms.
Yeah.
These are definitely not.
And see, the problem is, and I'll give it back to Roger in a second, on my weekend shows, I invite everybody up to the stage because I want to hear from everybody, no matter how fucking stupid they are. I want all opinion.
So, Steven, let's that's a beautiful thing. But can we be honest that not everyone that goes to your room is one of the nieces and nephews?
You're right.
Some of them are bastard children from another flock.
I hate to make this about race, but I'm just really frustrated that I hear the same type of talking points anytime this conversation comes up and Black women insert their opinions into it. The standard is always on the floor, and the method of making excuses is always measured against what do white people do. And I just think it's weird. I just think it's weird. It's like, okay, so if, like how she was saying, you're all my children. I mean, is she a mother? Is she a mother with children in her care? Like, are her kids able to be abused in her household because the existence of that said abuse occurs amongst white people? Like, I'm just trying to understand exactly what the point is of her bringing in race as a ground standard of like social acceptability. Like, it's very weird.
And Roger, by the way, if and when